Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Learn French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In today's video, I'm just going to discuss a few tips for CBSE Class 12 French exam, which is going to take place on 14th March 2024. Now, I know that I couldn't really upload the revision videos the way I did for class 10th because on 14th March, I too have an exam, not French board, but I too have an exam, right? So for that reason, I couldn't. That's why I felt that I can just quickly make a quick tips video, last minute tips for your class 12 French examination. And also, uh, as I have been doing for class 10th, I'll do it for class 12th as well, that once you are back home, do send me the question paper in PDF format, right? Do send me the question paper and then I'll solve it and then I'll make videos on the answer key of CBSE Class 12 French exam. Okay, so in case you want to volunteer, just let me know in the comments below. So starting with the tips, I'll be discussing section wise, question wise. Okay, so the first question, like in section A, is the first section, right? And the first question is scene comprehension. We are having two comprehensions in class 12, 10 marks each, comprising of 20 marks, right? So, okay, before that, one more thing. All the playlists that you will be needing for preparing for the CBSE Class 12 French exam, which are your CBSE sample paper 2023-24, CBSE Class 12 sample paper 2023, 22-23, and the answer key 22-23. Then G. Mauger Class 12 French grammar, tenses in French, right? And the letter writing playlist. So all these playlists are there in the description box below. Please go through them. Okay, that will help you in preparing for your exam. Now, first one is scene passage. Scene passage, why it's called scene? Because it will be from one of the chapters which are there in the syllabus, which are what? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. These are the chapters that you have in your syllabus. From any one of them, you'll have a passage and then from that, you'll have some questions. This means that G. Mauger textbook is not only important for the section D, but also for your section A as well, because the scene passage is from there. It carries 10 marks, right? So if you're thorough with the back questions, if you are thorough with the text of the chapters, then this will be very easy for you. Second one will be an unseen passage, the way we have been having in CBSE class 10th as well, right? Unseen passage, probably a picture or some data or graph will be there, and then you'll have some questions, subjective questions, fill in the blanks, true and false, antonyms, synonyms and all, right? You can refer to the sample paper videos for taking a look at the exam pattern, question paper pattern, right? So if it's a subjective question, preferably write answers in the full sentences, right? Because in a subjective question, you are expected to write in full sentences, not like just a word, no. And see, scene passage, if you are clear with it, you won't have much problem. But if in case in the unseen passage, there are certain words that you are finding it difficult to understand, in that case, the best way is to just translate to the limit, like as much as possible, right? Till that extent, as much as you can do, just translate it. And for questions where you are getting stuck, like for the subjective questions, look out for the keywords. Okay, keywords which are there in the question. If similar words, similar sentences you can find in the passage, you will find your answer nearby only to that particular sentence, right? So it's very easy to locate the answers in this manner. Plus, you are in CBSE class 12, right? And you already have your experience of CBSE class 10th French board. That's why there isn't really much to explain on how to attempt, because you already have the experience of it. Coming to section B, letter writing. Okay, 3 options will be there. You have to do only one. Okay, for questions which have options, I am repeating it again, the things that I used to say for CBSE class 10 as well, that never ever think of attempting extra. Now, some teachers say that you'll be getting marks for the best ones. Some teachers say you'll be getting marks for the initial ones, like 1 is supposed to be done out of 3. If you have done 2, if the first one is wrong, only first one will be considered. Okay, so different teachers have been saying different things. Like the teachers whom I refer, they said only the first ones are considered, not the best ones. But again, there are some PDFs on the net which say that the best ones are to be considered. Some are say that only the first ones are to be considered. So to be on safer side, don't ever think of attempting extra. Okay, attempt that much only, as much as is required, and at the same time make sure that you are not missing out on any question. Right, attempt that much as is required. Question numbering should be properly done. Since it's a language paper, keep your handwriting neat and clean, keep the presentation clean, leave ample space between the questions. Right, don't leave a blank page between your entire attempt. Okay, but what if the teacher didn't flip the page to check if you have written anything else or not? Right, that can happen. So in case you are leaving a like half a page, you can just write a small note that okay, this question is continued from the next page onwards. Try to do it in a chronological manner only, because that becomes easier for the examiner as well, and chances are less that the examiner's mood will get altered. Right, the chances will become less if you have attempted in a chronological manner and a neat manner. Well, it's a common tip for each and every subject, for each and every exam, written exam, right? Letter 3, 1 to be done. Sometimes it's 80 words, sometimes it's 120 words. Please take care of the word limit which is mentioned. If you have a name in the question, write that name. If you don't have a name, go for XYZ ABC. Don't even go for fictitious names. ABC, XYZ, fine. If you are in a habit of making a box for letter, go for it. I also used to do it. Now, okay, one more thing. Don't experiment a lot while sentence formation, because if you have committed major grammatical and vocab errors, you will be losing marks, right? So don't experiment a lot. You have some time, practice for letters, right? Practice for story writing as well. And if you are facing some difficulties in your sentence formation or similar things, then go for simpler sentences, right? The objective should be to have minimum errors, right? To have minimum errors, not to maximize errors. In order to impress the examiner, you wrote some complex sentences, maybe the grammar became wrong, the sentence formation becomes wrong, and you will be losing marks there. There's no benefit of that. Same goes for story writing. Now, story writing has been always for 120 words only for answers which have a word limit. Writing less could be a problem. Writing more is not a problem. But writing more to a certain extent, not like you wrote 200 or 250 words. No, that is redundant, that is wastage of time. You'll be wasting a lot of your precious time which is not required. So, exceeding by like what, 15, 20 words, there's no harm in that. But going beyond that limit is not advisable. Okay. And yes, story writing, you have cues given in your two options are there. You need to do one. Cues are given. Make sure you have included each and every cue, number one. Number two, make sure you have included these cues in a chronological manner in the same way it's given in the question paper. Don't jumble between the cues. Okay, and try to make logical sentences, use connectors, different tenses, vocab. Do practice for that. Okay, and just frame a nice story out of the cues given. And it's better if you add a heading to the story as well. And yeah, for letter, take care of the format. Informal letter is there, so format is not that tough. We don't have formal letters in the syllabus. Coming to section C, again saying the same thing, attempt that much only, as much as is required. First one is going to be tenses. So tenses, you should be aware of the indicators. You should be aware of the conjugations, the exceptions, whichever tenses have whatsoever exceptions. For example, future sample irregular stems, and then the past composed irregular past participles, right? So you should be aware of all this. For direct, indirect, it's very easy. You should be aware of how the conjugation changes. Like you should, for direct and indirect, the best thing is to comprehend the meaning of the question, right? Who said to whom? If who said to whom is converted to some other speech, what will be the changes to those subjects, right? And what will be the changes in the dialogue? If in the dialogue the subject is changing, then the verb conjugation will change. If the subject is changing, then if there is any adjective possessive or pronoun possessive, that will also change, right? Negative. Now in the class 12 sample paper, it's Mateo negative and not Responde or negative. If it's responde or negative, you need to respond to the questions asked in negative. Then we need to put no, comma, and then we put the sentence, right? Here it's mate or negative, so simply you need to convert. You have the question, like that you have the sentence, just convert it to negative. No need of no. Put no need of, if it's responde, respond. And take care of the placement, where person is placed, where ria is placed, where nilpar is placed. There are certain exceptions which are placed after the past participle. There are certain exceptions which are certain expressions which are placed before the past participle, right? So these things we need to take care of. The conversion of yunde and partitive article to the and the apostrophe in some cases, right? There are certain cases we need to be very careful about. These small things also count, okay? Next you have pronom personnel. So pronom personnel is all about what? COD, COYE, or tonique, then pronom reflechi, sometimes sujet pronom is also there in the such questions, and pronom tonique, all these pronouns are there, right? Now you need to convert the pronouns, like the nouns which are underlined, okay? The nouns which are underlined, you need to convert those only to the pronoun. And pronom personnel, it's not like in the answer you just wrote the pronoun and it's done. No, you need to write the full thing. Why? Because in such questions, the student is tested for the application as well. How you are applying the pronom personnel, how you are placing it, right? Pronom relative sample who compose as per CBSE sample paper class 12, it's in fill in the blank question. So it's much easier than your CBSE class 10, right? In CBSE class 10, we didn't have fill in the blank for this. So you have fill in the blank, so it's very easy. If it's a fill in the blank question, you just write the answer, it's sufficient. Again, pronom relative sample, be aware of the applications. Okay. For verbal phrases, what sort of pronouns we are using. For prepositional phrases, what sort of pronoun we are using. There's many students get confused between do and ducal. It's the same thing, right? And like not the same, it's the same thing as in one do is used for verbal phrases and ducal for prepositional. Okay, in that way. So take care of these applications of the pronouns. All the videos are there in the on the channel, uploaded on the channel, right? Prepositions. Again, a video is there, and practice your prepositions really well. Hit and try method can work in case you are facing difficulties. Adjective pronoun interrogative, the same tip that I give for class 10 students, to class 10 students. You see a noun after the blank, use the adjective. You don't see a noun after the blank and there's a verb or something else. You use pronoun interrogative. Okay? Take care of the gender and the quantity. Mate phrase or born orderer, unjumble the sentences. Not unjumble the sentences as in the words are jumbled. You need to unjumble them. So make sure you haven't missed out on any of the words which are there in the question. Okay, and you are not supposed to do all the 7-8 grammar questions. They are limited. Since it's of 25 marks only, you have to do 5 questions. I guess first or second are compulsory and the from remaining you need to do only 4. I don't remember the exact pattern. Go to the sample paper please. Sample paper videos and the CBSE sample paper is there in the CBSE website as well. So go to that. Lastly, section D, 15 marker for your subjective question, prepare the back questions really well of G. Mauger textbook. However, last year in the actual exam, we had questions apart from back questions as well. The questions were framed directly from the text. So for that reason, it is very important that you are thoroughly aware of the text that you have in these 6 chapters, right? Videos are there in the description, do watch them. And for fill in the blanks, it's given recti way. So you need to rewrite the whole sentence, even if it's a fill in the blank, preferably rewrite the whole thing and highlight the answer. For the same thing goes for section D, attempt that much only, as much as is required. Don't attempt extra. And With this, we are pretty much done with the tips. Now you want to attempt any particular section before other, it's your call. Some different students have different approaches. Whichever way is suitable, do it. Just make sure you don't miss any question unattempted. Okay, and do that much only, as much as is required. If you are getting stuck in a single question, put a halt then and there for that question and move ahead. Leave some space and move ahead. Once you are done with the entire paper, come back to the questions where you had problem. Before submitting the paper, try to finish the paper by 2 or 15 minutes or so that the entire time, remaining time you have is for the revision. You are revising you are rereading your answers if you have committed any errors or not, and you are checking for errors, and you are solving those where you were getting stuck while attempting, right? And with this, we are pretty much done with the tips. Now, all the best to CBSE Class 12 French students. Don't forget to send me the question paper once you are done with your exam. All the best to you. Wish me luck as well, because I too have an exam on 14th March. With this, let's put a halt here. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel Learn French with Anubhav. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You may also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas encore langue française et l'amour.